The story begins at a busy port in Hong Kong, where cranes were loading containers onto ships, and from here these containers were being sent to different places under tight security. Inside one of these containers, along with piles of cash, a man named Ivan Marquez was also present. After a few security checks, he came out of the container. Actually, this container had been shipped from Spain to Hong Kong with $2 million, and after the cash was counted, Ivan was supposed to receive a 3% commission as the courier, which would be around $8 million. A few years earlier, we saw Ivan standing in front of a big hotel. Ivan considered his father his hero, and he could never forget the day he went with his father to apply for a loan to open a wedding banquet hall. Their business initially did quite well and their family made a lot of money. But then, due to an economic crisis in the country, his father's business collapsed. That day Ivan decided that he would never live in poverty. After the recession, his father would often sit in front of the TV complaining all day, which started to irritate Ivan. All his father ever did was blame the government. During this time, Ivan began working as a valet, but he was always looking for some business opportunity. Completely unlike his father, Ivan didn't believe in sticking to the system. One day he shared his business plan with his friends. He wanted to buy a useless old flat, renovate it, and sell it for profit. But his friends had no interest in this idea, nor did they have money to invest. Ivan said, "So what? We'll take a loan from the bank." Hearing this, his friends laughed at him. One day at his valet job, Ivan and his friend noticed Mr. Larimer, a minister in the current government. But at that moment, he was completely drunk. Ivan immediately offered to drive him home, and the man agreed right away. Ivan was desperate to open that man's briefcase, and luckily, he got plenty of time to do so. He was shocked to see stacks of money inside and quickly pocketed a few notes. A while later, when they reached the man's house, Ivan directly met the woman the politician worked for. Ivan believed he could do a better job than this drunkard. He didn't care what their business was. He even told her that the politician had been stealing from them behind their backs. Since Ivan already took some money from the briefcase, that claim turned out to be true. Mary liked Ivan's confidence very much, and she offered him 10,000 euros to deliver a package. Ivan happily agreed. The next day, Ivan delivered a horse to a man named Francisco, who had bought it for his daughter Letitia's birthday. When asked, Ivan told him it was his first delivery for Mary. During their conversation, Ivan found out that Francisco and he were from the same city. He learned Francisco's story, how he used to work in a small photocopy shop and eventually climbed the ladder by shaking hands with the right people, reaching where he was today. Ivan had to deliver a cash-filled briefcase from Francisco to Mary, but this job was not easy. On the way, the police stopped Ivan, and within moments they found the cash in the briefcase. To save himself, Ivan lied, saying he had just sold his house and this was the money he got. But the police caught his lie easily and smashed his head on the car in anger. Seeing himself in trouble, Ivan confidently said, "I know your boss. Should I call him? Want to talk to him?" After that, the police let him go. Actually, these police worked for Mary, and this whole situation was planned by her to test Ivan's loyalty. After the delivery, Ivan received his payment along with a bonus so he could buy some new clothes. Time passed, and Mary and Ivan grew closer. The next day, Ivan met Mary's husband Francis, who was the son of a big diamond smuggler. They also had a foreign currency trafficking business. That day, Ivan was acting as a Belgian courier. Ivan was very happy with his courier job. He earned good money and drove expensive cars. Francisco, also known as Paco, helped wealthy clients clean their black money, and Francis and Mary assisted him. Paco would give Ivan briefcases filled with cash that he had to deliver to Belgium. One day, Ivan was talking to Letitia when Paco spotted him. Paco didn't like this at all and told Ivan to stay away from Letitia. A few days later, Ivan met Mary at a restaurant, where she told him that Belgium had become too dangerous, so they had found a new partner in another city, Geneva. But then both of them noticed a strange couple. Looking at them, Ivan said, "How did this fool get a girl like her? Mary replied. With whatever he's carrying in that briefcase, anything is possible. Ivan still wanted to do business with Mary because he wanted to learn more about this whole game. After that, they reached a building where they met Mr. Stull, another partner of Mary, who had created a great system for cleaning black money, and even he charged only a 3% commission. A little later, while talking to his mother, Ivan saw the same man on TV, the one with the beautiful girlfriend from the restaurant. On TV he also saw the man's wife, and he realized that this guy was having an affair with the restaurant girl. Ivan quietly waited for the man to return to his room so he could install a camera and blackmail him. The man's name was Louis, and Ivan even paid a cleaner some money to help him get inside the room. But unfortunately, the restaurant's security officer Yannick caught him red-handed. However, Yannick was just as corrupt, he only wanted a share in the profit. So he himself installed the camera. The video evidence they collected was enough to blackmail Louis. Ivan now believed Yannick could be a great partner, strong and smart. After finishing the job, both of them partied all night. Later, Ivan met Mary and told her that his mother had been insisting on meeting him for a while. Mary immediately said, "No problem, take as many days off as you want. Family is the most important." She even gifted him a watch, saying a person's shoes and watch tell everything about them. After that, Ivan and Yannick met Louis. They showed him the footage and said that he could either go to the police and ruin his reputation or work with them. They wanted to transport money from Spain to Switzerland, and they also wanted to open a branch in Louis's city, for which they needed Louis. At first, Louis hesitated, but eventually he was forced to accept all their conditions. Their deal was that in exchange for deleting the video, Louis would introduce them to all the important people. Initially, Ivan had no idea that a special police unit was monitoring this event. This was where Head Inspector Roy heard Ivan's name for the first time. Soon, with Louis's support and backing, Ivan began meeting powerful people and learning how their business really worked. Louis also introduced Ivan as his special person and helped him gain the group's trust. After this, Ivan met Marie and told her about his new business. But Marie was only worried about one thing: Francis wouldn't like this. He wouldn't be happy that two new boys were stealing his clients. Because if Ivan and Yannick didn't launder their black money, then Francisco would have done it. But Ivan believed that there was enough money for everyone in this business, and he also promised that he would not steal Francisco's clients. After spending the night together, Ivan asked Marie to stay, but she said she wanted to celebrate Christmas with her family. When Ivan went to Madrid to meet his family, he brought lots of gifts for them. But his father wasn't happy at all, because he didn't know what Ivan actually did for a living. He kept asking Ivan about his work. Ivan casually replied that he worked with some big people in import, export, but their conversation soon turned into an argument. After fighting with his father, Ivan went to meet his old friends. They had started buying old flats, renovating them, and selling them, exactly the business idea Ivan had suggested to them years ago. Time passed, money came, and Ivan's business flourished. During one such meeting, he met Francisco and Letitia. Francisco was angry that Ivan was attracting his clients, and he warned him. But when Ivan still didn't stop, Francisco sent some men to teach Ivan and Yannick a lesson, just to show that they had no right to do business in his area. After this incident, instead of running away, Ivan decided to confront Francisco. He convinced him that he wouldn't touch his clients and even told Francisco, "Since I'm working in your territory, you can take 30% of my profit." Hearing this, Francisco became very happy. During this time, Ivan made a lot of money, and it made him arrogant. When Marie pointed out his changed behavior, he got angry. He believed that the person bringing the most money deserves respect. Marie also told him that her husband had come to know about the ongoing investigation on Francisco, and he advised Ivan to stay away from all this. But Ivan ignored her advice and planned to expand his business. Some time later, Ivan noticed a few undercover police officers outside a party. He approached them and said, "Take me to your boss." They took him to the police station, where he met Inspector Manuel Roy, who was leading the inquiry. Ivan said he was fully willing to help the police, and that his boss was Francisco, and he sent all the money to him. He promised to give the police complete information about Francisco, but in return, he demanded full safety and protection. He had even promised Francisco 30% profit so he could later frame him and pretend he never told the police anything. For this, he needed proof that he wasn't informing on Francisco. So he took Letitia to Paris for a week and fulfilled her every wish. He pretended to love her so that no one would suspect him, and he could say he was out with his girlfriend all week. A few days later, when Letitia heard on TV that her father had been arrested, she immediately decided to return to Madrid. She had no idea that Ivan was responsible for her father's arrest. But when Ivan came back to the city, Letitia caught him sleeping with other girls, and she realized he had only pretended to love her. After Francisco was jailed, Ivan told everyone that until Francisco got out, he would take care of his clients. But Marie and her husband didn't agree, because the police had information about Francisco's clients, and handling their money could land Ivan in trouble. Ivan agreed and shut down his business for now. He spent all his remaining money partying in Madrid, and when he finally ran out, he returned home. There he learned that his father had passed away and his mother desperately needed help. Even after returning home, he continued thinking about new business ideas, and that's when he heard about the Chinese Mafia. Ivan asked Louis about Yao Ming. Ming transferred people's black money from Spain to China, but he used old, outdated methods and often got caught. Ivan then went to meet Marie and discussed working with Yao Ming. But the biggest problem was that transferring money to or from Switzerland had become nearly impossible, and their clients demanded cash. Ivan had a solution. He said they should send the money stuck in Switzerland into Yao's Chinese account, and in return, Yao would give them cash in Spain. Both parties liked the idea instantly and agreed. While Ivan and Marie were celebrating the new deal, Francisco suddenly appeared at their table. After being betrayed by Letitia, Francisco had learned that Ivan had informed the police about him. He bribed the judge to dismiss his case, and now wanted revenge at any cost. They also found out that a software engineer working for them had leaked the Swiss bank account list. Because of this, Stull and Francis ran away with the remaining money. Ivan and Marie immediately realized they were in huge trouble since most of their clients were on that list. The police were chasing them, so they tried to escape. But suddenly, some men from their Chinese client kidnapped them and took them to Yao Ming. Yao was also in serious trouble because the police were after him too. He suspected that Ivan had betrayed him, so he wanted to kill both Ivan and Marie. Just as Yao was about to shoot Ivan, Ivan quickly came up with a plan. He promised Yao that he would personally deliver the money safely. He assured Yao that he would hide inside a container filled with cash and transfer all of Yao's money from Spain to Hong Kong himself. The plan was risky, but it was the only way Ivan could survive. And if Ivan reached Hong Kong, Yao wouldn't worry about him talking to the police. According to the plan, Ivan safely reached Hong Kong, and he was excited thinking he would get his payment. But suddenly, the police arrived and arrested him. He was sent back to Spain, and now he knew his only hope was getting a good lawyer to reduce his sentence, because punishment was guaranteed. His lawyer told him that he would get at least 15 years in prison. Ivan even tried bribing Inspector Manuel, but unfortunately, the inspector wasn't corrupt. Then Ivan found out that Marie had informed the police about him to save her own life, which is why he was caught in Hong Kong. Ivan understood, if he were in her place, he might have done the same. Later, Yao Ming was also caught by the police. In the end, Ivan was about to go to prison. He finally realized that his father was right. In an interview, he admitted that money gets into people's heads, and the same had happened to him. If you liked the video, please hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel.